Hey, you again. Something's always happening with you. First the ocean, then a deserted island. Now, a forest. Honestly, I'm starting to worry about your GPS. Every year, thousands of people in North America alone wander off a trail and can't find their way back. Most are found alive within the first 24 hours, but not all of them. The difference between those who made it out and those who didn't isn't luck. It's what they did in the first few minutes after realizing, I'm lost. Today we're going to cover exactly that, step by step, so that if this ever happens to you, and given your track record, it might, you'll know exactly what to do. A forest isn't an ocean, and it isn't an island. There's no saltwater problem, no boat issues. The trap here is different. You can walk for an hour, 2 hours, 3, and not realize you've been going in circles the whole time. The forest is very good at one thing: turning a confident hiker into someone who talks to squirrels. In this video, you'll learn 4 things: what to do in the first few minutes, and how to find direction without a compass, where to find water in the forest, and how to make it safe to drink, which berries and plants you can eat, and which ones will kill you faster than hunger, how to avoid dangerous animals, and survive a night in the forest. Stay until the end, because I've got something to announce at the end that deserves its own full video. And I mean that. The moment you realize you're lost, that's the most dangerous moment. Not because the forest suddenly got more threatening, but because your brain shifts into panic mode, and panic makes you take your worst decisions exactly when you need your best ones. Most people's first instinct is to speed up, walk faster, find the trail, move in any direction just to feel like you're doing something. That's the first and most common mistake. Instead, use the stop system. S. Stop. Don't take another step in the current direction. T. Think. When did you last know exactly where you were? How much time has passed? O. Observe. Look around. Where is the sun? What sounds do you hear? Which way does the terrain slope? P. Plan. Make a decision, stay put or move, and if move, which direction and why. In most cases, the right answer is to stay put, especially if someone knows your approximate route. Search and rescue always starts from the last known location. If you've wandered further, they're looking where you no longer are. If you decide to move, here's how to find direction without any technology. The stick and shadow method. Push a straight stick vertically into the ground. Mark the tip of its shadow with a rock. Wait 15 minutes. Mark the new shadow position with a second rock. The line between the two rocks runs roughly west to east. First mark is west, second is east. Moss on trees. You've probably heard that moss grows on the north side. This is a useful guide. In the northern hemisphere, the shadier, damper north side does favor moss growth, but it's not a perfect rule. Use it together with other clues, not alone. The sound of water and terrain. Water flows downhill. If you hear a stream, follow the sound. Rivers and streams almost always lead to larger water bodies, and those lead to roads or human settlements. Yeah, this is literally like the cartoons. Sometimes cliches work because they're based on physics, not lazy screenwriting. Here's some good news compared to the ocean and the island. In the forest, water is usually much easier to find. Your main job is to locate a source and make it safe. Where to look? Streams and rivers, the most reliable source. Follow the slope downward. Water always finds its way down. Morning dew on leaves and grass. Wipe surfaces with any fabric and wring it out into a container. Small amounts, but every mouthful matters. Rainwater, the cleanest water you'll find. Collect in any container. Wide leaves work as funnels. Dense green areas and low ground. Where grass is unusually thick and green, water is often close to the surface. Snow and ice, if it's that season, melt it before drinking. Don't eat snow directly. It lowers your core temperature faster than you'd expect. Now, the most important part. Any forest water, even a crystal clear stream, can contain bacteria, parasites, including Giardia, and viruses. Do not drink untreated water from natural sources, even if it looks completely clean. Never. How to treat it. Boiling. 1 minute of a rolling boil kills most pathogens. At altitude above 2,000 meters, 3 minutes. An improvised filter, layers of fabric, sand, charcoal from your fire, and fabric again in an inverted bottle. Removes debris and some bacteria, but doesn't replace boiling. Use as a first step before you boil. If you have a portable filter or purification tablets in your pack, use them exactly as instructed. The forest looks like one big free grocery store. Berries, mushrooms, nuts, roots. The problem is that some of that store is a trap. Nature doesn't put up warning signs. That would be too considerate of nature. There's a general color rule that helps in most cases. White, yellow, and green berries are more likely to be toxic, roughly 90% of the time, according to botanists. Blue, black, and clustered berries like raspberries and blackberries are generally safer. But this rule is not absolute. There are exceptions in both directions. The core rule of wilderness survival: never eat a berry you can't positively identify, regardless of its color. Dangerous plants you're likely to encounter. White baneberry, also called doll's eyes. White berries with a black dot on each one, growing on thin red stems. They look unnatural. That's the right instinct. They contain cardiotoxins that can cause serious heart problems. Nightshade and its relatives, dark berries, often on plants with star-shaped flowers, causes severe digestive and nervous system disruption. Plants with milky white sap, if you snap a stem and white or cloudy liquid oozes out, don't touch it. This is close to a universal warning sign for toxic plants in temperate climates. What's usually safe? Raspberries and blackberries, recognizable multi-segment structure, grow on thorny canes. One of the safest and most identifiable wild berries. Blueberries and huckleberries, small blueberries on low shrubs, safe across almost all of the temperate zone. Hard-shelled nuts, most are edible after cooking. Acorns are bitter and need soaking before eating. Plantain leaves and dandelion, common everywhere, edible raw, rich in vitamins. Not glamorous, but reliable. And if you find something you're genuinely not sure about, but have no other option, there's a protocol. Rub a small amount on the inside of your wrist. Wait 15 minutes. If no reaction, touch it to your lip. Wait another 15. If still nothing, try a tiny piece and wait an hour. Only after all of that, consider eating a small amount. Slow, inconvenient, but much faster than ending up needing your stomach pumped somewhere in the forest without a cell signal. Let's start with numbers, because fear of bears is usually much larger than the actual risk. The chance of being attacked by a bear in the U.S. wilderness is estimated at around 1 in 2 million. On the famous Appalachian Trail, where 3 million people hike each year, the odds of a bear attack are roughly 1 in 24 to 30 million. For comparison, statistically, another human being is orders of magnitude more likely to hurt you than a bear. But, caution, people doesn't make for a great video title. How to avoid an encounter. Make noise while hiking. Most bears will retreat on their own if they hear you coming. A quiet hiker is a hiker who can surprise a bear. Avoid early morning and dusk. Peak bear activity times. Never position yourself between a mother bear and her cubs. This is the most common trigger for defensive attacks. Store food separately from where you sleep. Sealed, suspended from a tree. If you see a bear, the most important thing, do not run. Running triggers a chase response. A bear is faster than you. Talk calmly, Back away slowly at an angle, don't turn your back. Black bears and grizzlies require completely different tactics in an actual attack, and that's too important to cover in one paragraph. We'll get back to that. Snakes. In most temperate forest regions, venomous snakes avoid humans and bite only when directly disturbed. You stepped on one, grabbed it, cornered it. Watch where you step on the trail, especially near rocks and logs. Don't put your hands into crevices or under rocks without looking first. If bitten, don't run, don't cut the wound, don't try to suck out the venom. That's a myth. Immobilize the limb, keep it below heart level, get help as fast as possible. Hypothermia. In the forest, this kills more people than wild animals. Even in summer, nighttime temperatures in forests can drop dramatically, especially in the mountains. Early signs: intense shivering, slurred speech, loss of coordination. If you notice any of these, shelter, dry clothing, and heat source immediately. Build shelter before dark. In darkness, it takes 3 times as long and 3 times as much energy. Use natural shelter first: fallen trees, rock overhangs, the thick lower branches of conifers that form a natural roof. A layer of branches and leaves between your body and the ground is not optional. The ground pulls heat from your body far faster than the air. Small shelter beats big shelter. Less space to heat with your body. Now, signals. While rescuers are searching for you, your main job is not just to survive, it's to be findable. 3 of anything in a row. International distress signal. 3 fires, 3 piles of rocks, 3 bright objects. Searchers are trained to notice patterns of 3. Loud sounds in groups of 3. 3 whistle blasts, 3 shouts, 3 knocks on a tree. Natural forest sounds rarely repeat in exact sets of 3. Bright clothing on a visible branch or clearing. Somewhere a helicopter can see it. Once you start signaling, stay put. Rescuers are coming to the signal. Don't walk toward them. They're searching a grid, and if you move, you'll end up in the wrong grid square. All right, if you ever get lost in the forest, remember 4 things. First, the stop system. Stop, think, observe, plan. Don't move randomly. Second, water before food. Streams, dew, rain, but always treat it before drinking. Third, be careful with food. Raspberries, blueberries, hard nuts, generally safe. White or yellow berries, milky sap, no. Fourth, avoid wildlife encounters before they happen. Make noise, store food away from camp, watch where you step. The forest isn't trying to kill you. The forest just exists. The difference between those who survived and those who didn't is preparation and a calm head. If this channel is changing how you think about survival, subscribe. And here's what I promised at the beginning. We touched briefly on bears, but one paragraph really isn't enough. The real statistics on bear encounters, the difference between a black bear and a grizzly, what to do in the moment of an actual attack, and why most advice you'll find online is actually dangerous. All of that deserves its own full video. Next video, bears. If you ever come face to face with one, this might be the only thing you remember when it matters. Given your track record with wildlife situations, I'd subscribe now if I were you. See you next time.